How's it going, guys? I'm CTM Amygdala and welcome back to another Call of Duty Warzone video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over everything that has changed for Season 3 in Warzone. So if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to click that like button and also don't forget to subscribe. So I already went over the Battle Pass in a previous video on my channel, so you can go check that out. I'll have it linked in the description below. And you do get this calling card right here for completing part 1 of the nuke event. So if you missed it, this is what you would have gotten for completing that. And it also looks like we actually have a free bundle in the store right now. Oh, that's... Alright, nothing too crazy, just a couple like emblems and stuff. However, now I'm going to get into the actual patch notes for Warzone Season 3. So the first thing that we have is that there is actually going to be a brand new map launching likely after the second part of the event that's happening today at noon, which I'm currently waiting for. It's currently about 11:30 and I'm just hanging out in the lobby to ensure that I get a place in this event. But after the event, we are going to be seeing a 1980s version of Verdansk come back to the game. So that's going to be really neat. And I'll have to go in and check out what kind of map changes they've done to it. Now for the general, there's two main things that they've done. So for PC players, they have added NVIDIA DLSS. I personally don't really know what that is as I'm on console. However, if you're a PC player, you can definitely go check that out. And I think it's just going to improve the graphical quality of the game. And then for all systems, at the end of the game, open mic has been turned off for modes with infinite respawns like plunder, so everybody isn't all screaming at each other at the end of the game and stuff anymore. And then the player rank will also now correctly display your icon in the after action report. So like previously, even though I was 11th prestige, it would always say I was 9th, so they've just fixed that. And I'm wondering if they could do that. Why don't they fix the actual in-game rank like right above your player? As you can see, it shows I'm first prestige in-game. However, if you look in the upper right corner, I'm actually 11th prestige. And this has been something that I've kind of been bugging on since Season 1 when I was 3rd prestige, and it was still showing me as prestige 1 even though I wasn't. So they've definitely still got to get that fixed. Hopefully with Season 3 Reloaded or Season 4 if enough people bring that to their attention, because it looks like they really just don't care about it. Now for the gameplay, it looks like loot has been adjusted across Verdansk, so now they are exclusively putting Cold War weapons on the ground, including the PPSH and the Swiss sniper rifle. And only legendary weapons will also have blueprints. Players will also no longer take armor damage when using a riot shield and facing an active thermite. The thermite will just bleed straight through the armor and just instantly kill them. And sticking players with a Semtex will now always down the player. So Semtexes are a guaranteed one-hit kill if you're able to actually stick them. Now, there's a bunch of bug fixes and stuff, just quality of life updates. I'm not really going to get too much into any of that stuff. But if there's been like bugs and glitches you guys have been facing, a lot of those have been fixed, like invisibility and invincibility glitches. All that's been fixed and stuff in this update. Now I'm going to get into weapon tuning. And this is a big one where I'm sure a lot of you guys are actually here for the video. So Cold War weapons have had their ammo names updated. And the FFAR has been updated to match other assault rifles when it comes to its crosshair. Now, we've got two new weapons, the PPSH SMG and then the Swiss sniper rifle, and these are both in the Battle Pass. There's also unlock challenges for the LC-10 and the FARA 83. Now for the actual weapon tuning, we've got the Cold War AK47. The recoil pattern has been adjusted, so I'll have to go in and play with that, see how good the AK47 is now. And then we've got the FARA 83. So the minimum damage has been increased from 25 to 26, so that's been buffed. The maximum damage has been decreased from 33 to 31, so that's been nerfed a little bit. So it looks like they're trying to increase it at or make it more viable at closer ranges by increasing its close range damage is what I'm getting from that. Its maximum damage range has been increased by 17%. Its recoil pattern has been adjusted to lower it. So it looks like it's got lower recoil, longer range, but it does less damage at range and more damage up close. So it looks like this gun has been overall buffed in the end, even though it did get a slight nerf to long range damage. Since they increased that damage range, the gun would have likely been overpowered without that nerf. And then we've got the FFAR. So the damage has been decreased from 30 to 27, so not a huge leap. The gun's still going to be really good as it's still got pretty high damage, with 27 still being pretty high up there. The maximum damage range has been decreased by 15%, so this is no longer going to be a long range weapon. It's mostly going to be more for like short to short mid range. The neck damage multiplier has been decreased from 1.1 to just 1. Upper torso has been decreased from 1.1 to just 1, and they nerfed the aim down sights again. So this gun's going to be a little bit slower again. It's going to do slightly less damage, but they even said that they didn't want to completely nerf this gun. It's just going to be a little bit slower. It's going to be more of something that's more situational rather than just taking over the whole entire game. But the gun is still going to be good and probably top tier viable, I would even say. And then the funny thing is they actually also nerfed the Groza. So the Groza got recoil increase, ADS decrease, and they reduced the upper torso damage from 1.3 to 1.1. So, because I'm assuming a lot of people were going to move from the FFAR to the Groza since they're very similar weapons. So they just went ahead and nerfed that ahead of time just so people don't abuse that gun. Now for the KRIG, we've got headshot damage changed from 1.4 to 1.5. Neck damage increased from 1 to 1.3. Upper torso and lower torso both changed from 1 to 1.1. So the KRIG has had an overall damage buff, which is really good. That gun needed it. The QBZ has increased its movement speed. The aim down sight speed has also been increased for like strafing. The neck damage has been changed from 1 to 1.2, so it's going to do more damage to the neck and head. And then the upper torso has been changed from 1 to 1.1, so that's another buff for the gun. So the QBZ might be a little bit better now. Now for SMGs, we've got the LC10 had its bullet velocity increased, so that's a buff for it. But the MAC-10 has been decreased by its maximum damage, now does 1 less. So that's practically nothing. It looks like the time to kill is going to be about 10% less on the MAC-10 with a literal just 1 damage decrease. So I'm assuming we're not even going to notice that for the MAC-10. For the sniper rifles, they've increased the aim down sight speed for the Pellington and raised the time to switch between weapons for the Pellington as well. So that's an overall buff for the Pellington. Oof. Okay, so tactical rifles. So the Cold War AUG, the time to between bursts has been increased by 33%. That's gonna kill the gun. Like, that's a huge amount of time between bursts. I'm gonna have to go test that out for you guys. And then the neck damage has been changed from 1.8 to 1.3. Damn, that's a 0.5 nerf. That's really, really big. I'm thinking they don't even want people using the AUG anymore. And then the M16 has been, the time between bursts has been increased by 10%, so I got a little bit of a nerf. And then the neck damage has been changed from 1.8 to 1.1. So that's even bigger than the neck damage nerf to the AUG. So that's pretty crazy. Now a lot of the attachments have been changed as well. I'll leave the exact patch notes in the link down below so you guys can go look at all the different attachments and stuff, but they only changed attachments for like certain guns, and there's a lot of them, so I'm not really going to get into all of them. However, a lot of them really hit the M16 and the AUG, like decreasing the rate of fire of what an attachment would do and stuff. And then we've got some nerfs to the Psychov. So the minimum damage has been reduced from 23 to 19 if you're using it in full auto. And if you're using it in full auto and akimbo, the minimum damage has been reduced from 19 for using it full auto down to 14 if you're using it akimbo as well. But this only affects it when you're using both auto and akimbo. So that's pretty much going to make the gun almost useless as well. And then they buffed some of the lasers. So the aim down sight speed penalty has been reduced by 20%, so you can aim down sight faster with the lasers. And flashlight is now visible during aim down sight for the SOF target designator. So that's a little bit of a nerf to that. Fast mags have all had their aim down sights penalty reduced by 20%. So that's pretty good. Let's see. It looks like a lot of the optics, like the heavier optics, have had their aim down sight penalty reduced as well, making them aim down sight faster. Another good change. And then the rear grips have also had their aim down sights reduced by 10%. So once again, gonna aim down sight faster. And then the last thing that we have for the Warzone update is going to be an adjustment to the Roze skin. So it says we've adjusted Roze in order to improve the operator's visibility where sources of light are available. So it looks like they're going to increase the how you can see the skin in like darker areas. So I'm actually gonna go check that out right now and see how they've changed Roze. So let's see. Skin looks exactly the same. Oh no, maybe it's gonna be a little bit brighter, like they're gonna make it like a little bit more reflective so you can see it in darker places a little bit easier. Like as you can see, you can tell kind of more towards the top, it's a little bit brighter up there, like there's like sun shining on it or something. So they might kind of have that permanently in those darker areas to help spot it. So that's pretty cool. They still kept the overall design of Roze without changing her too much. Just a little bit of a more reflection to it. And that's really going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one.